Hello guys, you're welcome back once again on my channel. Okay, my name is Chima Olive. You're welcome back once again. So today I'll be showing you guys on how to cut 8 pieces blouse. Yeah, I'll be using a three-part corset with 8 pieces blouse, three-part corset, 8 pieces blouse, whichever way you want to call it. Okay, so by this tutorial, actually you can use any bustier of your choice, bustier pattern of your choice. You can use normal bustier. Okay, you can use presence that bustier, you can use shoulder that bustier. All right, but today I decided to use corset, three-part corset, okay, to draft my 8 pieces blouse. Okay, it's going to be fun and interesting. All right, so this you can actually use the same method to achieve your maybe 12 pieces, or you can as well use the same method to achieve 6 pieces blouse. We know we have 6 pieces blouse, we have 8 pieces blouse, as well as 12 pieces blouse. Okay, you can use the same method, okay, to achieve it. All right, so now as you can see here, I've already drafted my basic bodies. Okay, so I've gone ahead to draft my basic bodies. So guys, so if this is your first time of coming into my channel, guys, you're highly welcome. Please do well to subscribe and hit notification bell, okay, to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So if you find this tutorial helpful, guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well as share. Please don't forget to share. All right, so let's get to business. All right, so now, like I was saying earlier on, I've drafted my basic bodies. So here I will go through the measurements I have here. So this line will serve as my shoulder line. If you watch here, I have this line. Okay, I used pen, so let me go ahead and I'll highlight it with my marker so that it will be more visible. Okay, so here I have my, so this is my shoulder line as well as my starting line. All right, so after that I went ahead to mark out remember it's a top. Okay, we are using three-part corset to make this particular 8 pieces blouse. All right, so here from my starting point on my shoulder line, I marked out my horizontal measurements. Okay, here I have my chest line. Okay, so this will serve as my chest line. All right, so here I have my bust point. This is my bust point line, which is 10 inches. So my under bust line, I have 13 inches for my under bust. Then my waistline, I have 17 inches for my waistline. So here, this is my blouse length. I have 24 inches. So I went ahead to add extra 1.5 inches for um sewing allowance. Remember, this is a blouse, so the down part I'll be turning over, like using lining to turn. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll be doing some turnover at the down. All right, so I don't know if this the English is correct or what. So now after that, now the next thing I went ahead to do, so here is my shoulder line. I have my shoulder measurement here. Okay, sorry, before then, this line here, I have about, I actually wanted to mark my half inch, so you can go ahead and mark half inch. But I first of all used marker. You know, marker is always bold. So after using marker, I got 0.75. But my initial plan was to use half an inch. Well, it doesn't matter. You can use half inch. So let's assume this is my half inch. I marked this half inch here. So okay, guys. So now this is this half inch. Now remember, because you are drafting or cutting out 8 pieces gown, sorry, 8 pieces top. Okay, you can use the same method to also cut your gown. Okay, but this is top you're cutting. So because of that, I have to mark out half inches for joining. You remember, so the center, this is the center part of the blouse. Now the front, the middle point, where in between your breast, the middle point. Okay, so this is it. Because it's 8 pieces, that is why it will have this joining in the middle. All right, so here, remember, like I said, you can use any bustier of your choice. You can use a normal bustier, princess dart, shoulder dart, whatever bustier of your choice. So I decided to try it out on this corset to see the outcome. So now, so you first of all mark out half inch here. This half inch will serve, we'll use it to join the center part. Okay, if you are making a 6 pieces top, um 6 pieces top, okay, yeah, so you don't need to mark out any half inch here. You just place your, after drafting everything, you just place your fabric on fold. Okay, but because it's 8 pieces, right? So that is why we'll be cutting. After placing on fold, we are going to open this part, so we are using this half inch to join it back. Okay, so now let's proceed. So that is reason for this my half inch. So from that half inch now, I marked out my shoulder divided by 2. Okay, so after that I went ahead, I came down by a half inch for my shoulder slope, right? So then I marked out my armhole. So I use 8.5 here for my shoulder as well as here. So this is my armhole, this is for my armhole line, so I use this as my chest line as well. So after that, this is my bust point, my under bust, my waistline, and my blouse length, and the sewing allowance. Okay, so after that, now the next thing I will do right now, here I use a standard neck line. I use 3 by 3. We are not needing it, but it should, in case you want to add yoke to the style of the blouse you are making, if you want to add yoke, then you will need this part. Okay, but mostly I'll be concentrating more on this. But if later in the day I decided to add yoke to the top, then this is where this place will be needful, right? So now, okay, so after that, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'll go ahead from this my chest line, I will input my bust span measurement, my bust span divided by 2, which is 8. I went ahead to add half inch, so that will give me 4.5. So I'll mark it from this, starting from the chest line. Okay, starting from the chest line as well as starting from this half inch. So if you, all your markings will start from the half inches. Okay, but because this place will be sewn, you are going to join it. So here, starting from this line, I will go ahead and mark my bust span measurement from the chest line down to the blouse length. So I'm marking it out right now. So this is what I have. So after marking it, I'll go ahead and connect the lines. Okay, all right, so now I've marked out my bust span. This is my bust span. So after this, now the next thing I will do right now is to, from my under bust measurement, I'll go ahead. So from this my bust point, I will come up by, as usual, that has been my way, half inch up and half inch down, because I don't want it to be pointed. Okay, so now, yeah, so at this on my under bust now, I'll go ahead and mark out 1 inch on both sides. Okay, 1 inch in and 1 inch out on both sides. I'll do the same thing at my waistline as well as my hip hip line or my blouse length. Okay, so after which I'll go ahead and connect the lines together. So this is what I have here. So I'm connecting the lines together now. Okay, so now I'm connecting the lines from the under bust down to my blouse length or my hip line. Okay, so let me go ahead and highlight it with marker so that it will be more visible. Okay, so now this is what I have here. So after this, now I did the next thing I'll do right now, from here, from my bust point, I'll go ahead and measure the distance between my bust point and my under bust measurement. So I have 3 inches. Okay, the distance between my actual bust point, not the 1 inch down or 1 inch above, just the normal bust point, the distance between the bust point and under bust, I have 3 inches here. So I'll go ahead and make a dotted line I'm using a dotted line now. From that point, you place your, I have a video on how to draft out this three-part corset, okay? So I think I have to be more faster on this, so I won't waste much time. So I'll go ahead and mark out the distance. So I have 3 inches from my bust point to my under bust. The distance is 3 inches. So I'm marking it all around with a dotted line, right? Okay, guys. So now I'm done marking it out with a dotted line. Okay, I have dotted line. I don't know if you guys can really see it. Okay, so after that, drafting it with a dotted line. Okay, so the next I'll go ahead and extend this line like this. So I'm extending it. So after this now, the next thing I will do right now from here. So after marking this out, I'll go ahead and connect. I'll be connecting this point together. Okay, so I'll use my curve rule to connect this point like this. I'll be connecting it. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. So after that now, so on this part now, the next thing I'll do right now is to mark. I'll be marking 1 inch inwards and 1 inch outwards. Okay, so this is what I have here. So after that, I'll also go ahead and connect it here to this half inch above. Remember, I don't want it to be, so I'll be connecting it like this. From where I made the half inch above from the bust point, I'll be connecting it. So this way. Okay, so this is what you have here. So after this now, so this is what I have. Okay, guys, so after connecting, the next thing I will go ahead and do right now from here. So you measure your from your shoulder to your chest line. Remember, I have 8.5 inch from my chest line. You can decide to maintain your chest line, okay, or you come down by half an inch, or depending on how deep you want it, how you want the front, the cleavage to be exposed. If you don't want it, you can maintain your chest line. Okay, so here I came down by half an inch from here. So from that, remember all the markings will start from this half inch in line we made here. Okay, so from here now I will go in by 0.75. All right, so I will be marking 0.75 from that half inch mark I made like this. I have a tutorial on how to cut this three-part corset. I don't want this video to be more lengthy. So after that now, the next thing I will go ahead from here. I'll be connecting this point to this under bust. So I'll be placing it like this. Okay, so I'll be placing my curve like this because I want it to be more fuller. So I'll go ahead and connect it. All right, so this is what I have. After connecting, I will also go ahead and connect here this part. I also connect it down to the half inch I came down. If you want to maintain your chest line, you can also do the same. So after that now, remember here on this chest line, I already marked out my bust circumference. And what I have 36 inches for my bust circumference. So this is what I marked here when I was sorry, I have 37 inches. Okay, so 37 divided by 4, that will give us 9.2. So this is what I have here, 9.2. So when I was trying to get the armhole curve. All right, so this is my bust circumference. So here, so I'll be the whatever I the leftover, I will getting the midpoint from this my bust circumference and my armhole line. So I'll be dividing whatever I have there. I have 1 inch, so the midpoint should be half an inch. So this is my midpoint now here. So from that midpoint, I will go ahead and come down by half an inch on this mark. So I'm going to come down by half an inch. So from this half an inch now, I'll be connecting it to the underbust, right? So I have this. So let me use marker to highlight it so that it will be more visible. Okay, so this is what I have. All right. So after that now, from here, from this point, I also connect it down to this half inch I came down with. Okay, so I'll be connecting it down to the half inch. So this is it. All right, so this is what we'll have here. All right, so this part, we are cutting this part out. This marker is always too bold. That is why sometimes I don't really like to. So this is it. So now it's too bold. I don't know, like it's floating. All right, I hope you guys can see. So this is what you have. So here, so after that now, the next thing we are going to do, remember, is now our corset is ready. If you are doing the normal corset, so it is ready. All right, so because it's three-part corset, so from here now, from this point, I'll measure 2 inches. Okay, so I'll come down by 2 inches here. So this is my 2 inches. We are about to get a three-part corset. So from this point as well, I will come down by 2.5. Remember, here is higher, so this is my 2.5. I have my 2.5 here. So here as well is my 2.5. So here on this middle point, I'll be coming down by 2 inches, just as I came down by the side. So I have this is what I have. So after that, I'll go ahead and connect it. I have a tutorial on how to cut three-part corset. Okay, so normally I'm not supposed to go through this again, right? So this is our three-part corset. All right, so this is what I have. I hope you guys can see. Yeah, I hope you guys can see it clear. So this is what I have. This is our three-part corset. This is 1A and 1B, but we are going to be joining these parts together. Okay, later on we are going to join it together. So this is 2 and 3. So this is center front, and this is side. This is the side. All right, so I have to label it. This is the side. So, and this is center front, CF, CF. So now, so for you not to get confused, you have to label it. Okay, so after that, next thing is for us to input our horizontal measurement so that we'll go into the main business. So the first business of the day is almost done. So the second business of the day is about cutting these 8 pieces. Okay, so now after that, remember, this is my bust circumference, 38, 37 divided by 4. So after that, I'll go ahead and measure whatever I remove here. Remember, I came in, I removed 2 inches, so I'm going to replace it, then add your sewing allowance. So I'll be adding 1.5 inch for my sewing allowance, which is here. So at the under bust measurement, I have the under bust measurement of 31 inch. So 31 divided by 4, I have 7.5. So you mark it, then 2 inches, you are going to replace it and add your sewing allowance. So my waist measurement, I have the waist measurement of 33, so which is 8.2, so which is here. Then my 2 inches of that intake are going to replace it and add my sewing allowance. So after that, then the next thing on this blouse length or the hip line, I'm going to be inputting my hip measurement. So I have the hip measurement of 41, which is 10.2. So my 2 inches dart intake and my sewing allowance. Okay, so here I have my sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead and connect all the lines here. So this is what I have. So this is what I have here. Okay, so after that, now the next thing for us is to cut it out so that we proceed. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. All right, let me use my marker as well to highlight it. So this is what I have here. So on this part, because it's 8 pieces blouse, okay, I'll go ahead, I'll add extra because I want the side flare. Okay, I'll be adding extra 1 inch so that I'll be able to get the flare. Okay, for my waistline here, I'll be adding extra 1 inch. So let me just add it like this. So this is what I have. Or you can decide to maintain, maybe later on we're going to add it. So after this now, I'll go ahead and cut. We're going to be cutting it out. So no, before we cut out, sorry guys, before we cut it out, we are going to blend this in. Remember we came down by half an inch, so we are going to be blending it in. We are not using this chest line anymore. Remember we came down here by half an inch, so we are going to blend it in. So like this. So this is what I have. So we are going to blend it in like this. So before we cut it out, okay, I'm trying to use marker so that you guys will understand. All right, so go ahead and cut out. Okay guys, so let me cut out this. Okay guys, so after cutting it out, so I've used my masking tape to hold the top part. Remember the two top parts, okay? Like I said, after cutting, you're going to be cutting it another sheet of paper so that I'll be able to get the three parts. So now, if you watch closely, you can see this is very, very confusing. Assuming you didn't label them, you will not, in fact, you'll be very, very confused. You will know which part to go to which part, okay? To which side. So now, this is what I have here. If you watch closely, you can see. So now, I've joined the two top parts together to form one, right? So now, this is it. You can see my arrow is showing me exactly where which each side will go, and this is the side, this is the center front, this is number two and number three. All right, so this is very, very necessary for you to label your parts. If not, you'll be very, very confused. So this is what I have. All right, so I'll go ahead and place it on another paper. So this, I'll be placing it on this. So I'll go ahead and trace out the same pattern, all right, to form one. I'll be tracing it. I will trace the same thing to form one. All right, okay guys, you can see now I'm done tracing it, so I'll go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so now this is what I have. Okay, so you can see, so this is what I have here. So this is the center front. Okay, so always bear that in mind. So this is CF, center front number one. Okay, so this is it. So the next thing is for us to cut the back before we cut out our, I will show you guys on how to drag the eight pieces. Okay, okay guys, so yeah, welcome back. Though this is the back bodies, you can see I've already drafted the basic bodies. Now I've already gone ahead to input all my, the chest line, the bust line, the underbust, the waist and the blouse length. So the next thing is for us, this is my zipper allowance. Okay, I have 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. So from here, from the chest line, so from here I'll be using the underbust line. Okay, you have 10 inches for my underbust. You can use your chest line, right? So from here, but I will be marking out my bust span measurement. So from here, from the chest line down to the hip line or my blouse length. Okay, so I'll just mark it vertical like that, and I'll connect the lines. So we're about to drag the back. So after that, now on my underbust or my waistline, I'll be using 1/2 inch on both sides. So I have half inch here. So from that, I'll connect it to my chest line, or I'll be connecting it to my this line, because I'll be using, okay, I'll connect it to my chest line. Let me use my chest line, which is 8.5. So like this, I'll go ahead and connect it this way. So we're going to mark it all the way down. All right, so I'm trying to be fast. So you're connecting it like this. You can blend it in if you want. Normally you're supposed to like blend it in like this. From here you're going to blend it into the hip line this way. You can do that, but because it's pieces, so we are still going to attach flare, so that is why I'm making everything straight. Okay, but if you are sewing a normal top, maybe you just from the waistline you are going to blend it in. All right, so that is it. So after that, now the next thing, from this from here, from this waistline now, or the under bust line. Okay, so I'll be using here, like I said, I'll be using the chest line. So I'm going to measure from here to my actual blouse length. I have 15 and a half, and the midpoint for that, this is the midpoint. or you can use your waistline. Okay, from here you mark, you make a mark. So this, I'll make the mark here. So I'm going to come inside. From here I'll be coming in by half an inch, or you can use your waistline to do that. So when you come in by half an inch, you're going to connect it this way. This is for us to eliminate the zipper bulging. You understand? So I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so this is what I have. From here you come in by half an inch. I'm going to blend it in to your neckline. Right, so this is my neckline. Remember, I'll be using the chest line, but you can decide to still come down. If you still want to come down, maybe you want to give your neckline, you can do this way. Right, like want to give it slant, or you can decide to maintain it straight. So I'll be maintaining it straight. All right, I'll be using the straight line. So after that, now the next thing is to input our circumference. The bust, my bust, I have 37. So here my sewing allowance. Okay, so my waist, for my waist circumference I have 33, which is 8.2 here. Then my dart intake of 1 inch, half, making 1 inch. Then my sewing allowance. Right, so the next thing here I have the hip measurement. I have 41, which is 10.2. Then 1 inch for my dart intake and my sewing allowance. All right, so I have it here. I'm trying to be fast with this video. Don't want it to be too lengthy already. It's like it's getting lengthy. So this is what I have here. So the next thing is to cut it out. All right, so the next thing for us is to cut it out. We're going to cut it out. But if you want another type of maybe V, you can decide to come in by to your under bust like this. Decide to blend it in this way, depending on your choice. But I think I'll be maintaining the straight line. All right, so here so if you also want to add the yoke, you can decide the type of yoke you want to use. You can decide to use a keyhole. For front and back is all the same. You can decide to use your keyhole neckline like this. All right, so depending on your choice. All right, so now I'll go ahead and cut it out. So from my chest line, I'll be using my chest line, or okay, let me just use this particular one. So from here I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is for the yoke. So you can go ahead and cut out your yoke. Okay, but we are not using yoke for now. This tutorial is not for the yoke. So this is, we are cutting 8 pieces corset blouse. Yeah, I think I've gotten the right word. 8 pieces corset blouse. Yeah, that's it. 8 pieces straight cut corset blouse. All right, so now our zipper board. So this is what we have. Right, so now let's go ahead and cut out our 8 pieces. Okay, so I'm going to be adding um flare to the sides. Let me show you guys how to do that. Okay guys, so now for us to introduce our 8 pieces um blouse, okay, we are done with the corset part. Remember, like I said, you can use any bustier of your choice. So now we are done with the 3-part corset. We are not concentrating on the corset part. When you are, so you're going to sew the normal way you sew your corset. Okay, so now for us to get the 6 pieces blouse. Okay, so you can see here I've already introduced another paper, another pattern paper. So this is my front. You can see this is the center front for my blouse. This is the center front. All right, so this is the CF, the center front, and this is the side. All right, so now the next thing I did, I went ahead and I placed it on a different pattern paper. As you can see here on the screen, I've placed it on a different pattern paper. So you are going to determine by the side how many inches of flare or yeah, of flare or goget, I don't know, but how many inches wide you want to add the extension, how many inches. So me, I've determined I want it 3 inches. Okay, so here depending on how full you want it, so 3 inches, you can see here, this is the mid part. So I have 3 inches, I placed it. So I'm going to make a mark. So I'll go ahead and pin it down so that my fan is really disturbing. So as usual, always depending on where I am, so I'm sorry for that. So here as well, I have 3 inches. Okay, all right, so now I have 3 inches on both sides. You can see here, this is my original pattern paper. Okay, so this is the original one. So from here, from the end of that, I want to be adding 3 inches on both sides. You can see I have 3 inches on both sides. So this is the side. So here I have 3 inches as well on both sides. Here is 3 inches. So this is the shaping side. Okay, you can decide depending on how full you want it, but I don't want it to be more full. Remember, I wanted to add 1 inch, or yeah, I'll just go ahead and add 1 inch to it. You can decide to maintain it, maintain um the normal allowance you added earlier on. So remember, this is our waistline. Okay, so from the waistline, this is my 17 inches for my waistline here. So this is my waistline. So from here, it's going to start from the waistline. So I'll just go ahead like this. This is the waistline. Okay, so whatever we are doing, we start from the waistline. Okay, so from there now, I'll go ahead and place my rule like this. So I'll go ahead and connect. So I'll be connecting it from the waistline. You are going to connect it to the 3 inch extension. Okay, like this. You can see we are forming, it's already forming from the waistline. So like this, I'm extending them. So from the waist, you can decide to maintain this, you can decide to maintain it. Okay, this particular one, or you can decide to add more if you want it to open more, I mean the side. So this is what I have here, guys, right? So this is what I have. After that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. You can see I've extended. So the next thing for me to do right now is to come up. You can decide to come up by 1 inch, all right, so that for we not to have, maybe you can come up by 1 inch like this. You come up by 1 inch on both sides, right? So you're going to come up by 1 inch. So after which you use your curve ruler to curve it out. This is to eliminate the sharp edge. Okay, so I'm going to blend it in. You can see I'm trying to blend it in this way. So this is what I have. Then you blend this one in as well from here. Okay, so now this is our new pattern. Okay, I'm going to pin it. So I don't have that much pattern paper, so you can decide to trace it out, but you can see my pattern paper is not up, so I'll be stopping here. So like this, so I'll go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so like this. guys, so now this is what we'll have. This is our, you can see. So when you are cutting the center front, you are going to cut it on fold, all right? So after placing it on fold, remember you are going to open up this part. So this will be two. Why this one, the side will be two? So that will make it four in front. So we are going to do the same thing at the back, which four in front and four at the back, which is 8 pieces. Okay, so this is it. This is the new pattern we'll have here now. All right, so guys, so this is what we'll have. So let me introduce. So let's cut the back first before. Okay guys, so now this is the back. We are going to do the same thing at the back. So here I've already marked out my 3 inches. I've already marked it out. So here I have 3 inches on both sides. Okay, so here I have three inches. So all right, so I'm going to do the same thing we did at the front. I'm going to do it at the back. So from here now, from the waistline, you are going to connect. Okay, so you are connecting down to your extension. All right, so you connect here from the waistline down to your 3 inches or 2 inches extension, or four, depending on how fuller you want it, right? So here, so after that, then you're going to come up as we did it. We're cutting the front by 1 inch. So you're going to come up, all right? So after that, you go ahead and connect it. This is to eliminate the sharp edge. So once you have that curve effect, that curved blouse, all right? So we are going to connect it just like we did while cutting the front. We're going to do the same thing here. So like that. All right. So after that, now the next thing is to cut it out. All right. We are going to cut it out here. Okay, guys. So now this is for the back. So this is the zipper side. So it's going to be this way. All right. So when we are cutting two. We are cutting it two. This is the zipper. This is the zipper. Right. So here is the dart. So this is the side. You have to label all your patterns, okay? So you are going to be joining this way. So this is it, okay? So this is it for the back. We are cutting these two, this one two as well. All right. So now let's put it aside. Okay guys, so we have come to the end of this tutorial. We are done with the cutting, all right? So this is the outcome. This is what we'll have. So as you can see here, you can see the extension we have here, all right? So this is the center front. Remember, like I said, when you are cutting, you are going to cut it on fold, after which just the same way you are going to cut it, not like after folding it you leave it like that. No, this is 8 pieces, so you are going to cut. This one will be two and this one will be two, so we have four in front, as well as we are going to cut this one two. This is the center back and this is the side back, so I'm going to cut it two two, making four. All right, so this is the one part. This is the part now, one part now. So we're going to need this another, this side, all right, so it will be able to make up 8 pieces. All right, so I decided to use a corset for this tutorial. You know, you can use it for any other bustier of your choice, but I decided to use corset, three-part corset, to make this particular 8 pieces. It's not limited to this corset. You can try it on um other bustier of your choice. If you want to add yoke as well, remember how you can add your yoke. You can add any design, maybe keyhole or whatever neckline of the yoke you want. So this is what we have here, guys. So have you liked this video yet? If you find this tutorial helpful, guys, please kindly subscribe, hit notification bell so that whenever I upload new video you get notified, and please do me a favor by giving this video a thumbs up and share as well. Okay, guys, so my next video I'll be showing you guys how to sew it. We are going to sew it to see the outcome. I can't wait to sew it and show you guys how the outcome looks like. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial. Bye. I love you guys.